Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Like, Share, Follow. And this week I have Michelle Oates, who is a USC grad who took a social media course at USC, and she is now the social community manager at Social Soup for Australia and New Zealand, and she lives in Sydney. So working from home today. How are you going, Michelle?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, really good. So we were just discussing that the last time you were in the classroom at USC was in 2017. So tell me, what has been your journey from then until now?
Yeah, it's been, a crazy time since then. I can't believe, USC has been that long in the past now. But since studying my last semester, studying social media with you, I definitely had something spark in me, wanting to further my studies in media. So I took all that back home afterwards to Sydney, and I did a Masters of Media,
Fantastic.
which led me to my role at Social Soup, which I found on a casual basis. And now, since then, since I finished my Masters of Media, I've been able to go full time at Social Soup.
Excellent. And so tell me about your role at Social Soup. So you're the social community manager. So what does that actually involve?
Yeah. So, Social Soup is an influencer marketing agency. So the main service we provide and what I am involved heavily in is setting up influencer marketing campaigns for all of our clients. So this includes things for me such as copywriting, recruiting influencers on Instagram or TikTok, which has recently been implemented, and also just helping build out that overall campaign strategy. But overall, I do have a responsibility to look at our community that we have at Social Soup and make sure they're in a good place.
Excellent. So it sounds like a role that would be changing every day. So you
Oh,
definitely would not be bored with something like that.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so tell me, what has been the best advice that you've been given in relation to your career so far?
So the best piece of advice I've received would probably be that, don't be afraid to change your direction. At USC, I majored in tourism, leisure, and event management. And whilst I loved studying that, I did find when it came to my career, it wasn't really where I saw myself heading. So, changing into the media industry has definitely, given me something that I didn't expect, but I'm glad that I did take the plunge and change. But it also, constantly changing also helps you grow your skill set. And, I still find event management is a great skill to have in an influencer marketing agency where we sometimes run events.
Absolutely. Yeah. So no, that's really good advice. Not being so stuck in what you started out to do, to
Yeah.
think, okay, I want to try something else. Because you're right. Like the more you do, the more experience and the more knowledge you gain.
Exactly.
And so with your job at Social Soup, what do you think set you apart from other, say, graduates or candidates going for that particular role?
Yep. So I find generally I am a go-getter. I always work hard and look for opportunities. I'm always looking for opportunities to further my career. So something that really helped me land my role at Social Soup was, I volunteered a lot while studying. I volunteered at USC as a part of a volunteer for events. I also did a little bit of admin volunteering for retired communities. I was a part of the wedding expo on the Sunshine Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and just all those little roles and opportunities definitely built up experience, which I think can give you a big head start when it comes to looking for a job where you may not have much paid experience, but, you know, volunteer experience can go a long way.
Absolutely. So it's that practical experience. And we were talking before about that because when you studied that course at USC, it's like the first time it was delivered. And in that particular course, which was a social media analytics course, there wasn't any sort of practical component. And so the following year, I implemented that. So now students have a client, they're like gathering data, analyzing, reporting, all that sort of thing, just to try and embed that practical stuff in there. But you were great in that you actually went out and did more. You did that volunteering to get your practical experience as well as your degree while you're there. Because, I completely agree that, employers actually look for that. And so with your job at Social Soup, did you apply for that? Like, how did that come about? Was there an ad that you answered? Like, what actually happened?
Yeah, so I found the community, it was a community support role at Social Soup on, I think it was a job seeker website. And I actually already knew about the company Social Soup. I had been a part of their campaigns on one of their consumer marketing campaigns. So I kind of knew the background knowledge of them. And seeing that it was in the industry that I wanted to work in, I thought I might as well, go for it. And I definitely expressed my interest and passion, and that I was already a big fan of the company. And I think that definitely took them by delight and surprise, and they were happy that I'd already knew everything about the company. They wanted to take me on as a casual time role while I was still studying. And then, naturally, as my degree came to an end, it opened up a full-time role in a manager position.
Fantastic, well done. That's awesome. And so, talking about your degree, so you've done your undergrad and you've done a master's in media. So, looking on that and reflecting on that, what have been some of the most important skills that you've gained from university that have actually helped you in your current career?
Yeah, so I think doing an undergraduate and a postgraduate can already show you that it's just taught me how to love the learning process and how to keep on learning and growing even in my work, even though it's not a degree. It's important. The media world is always changing. It's always growing. It's so constant. And so, learning and growing, which I've learned so well at uni and in my degrees, has definitely helped me be able to keep up and build better processes and be on top of it. And, it's been good.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, like learning at the beginning when you are learning, it's getting comfortable with not knowing what you're doing. Like you're not meant you're not meant to know what you're doing. That's what learning is, and then you master it. It's great. And then you've got to do it all again to learn something new. So yeah,
exactly.
So, totally agree. And so what is something that you wished you'd learned at university that you've needed to know in your current role that you wish that you'd actually been taught was included in your course?
I think this one, came to me with experience, and it's kind of hard to put into a uni course, but reminding a skill that I really needed to remind myself on and learn is to be agile and, get ready to pivot your ideas. Because I found in uni, I had assignments where I could plan out for a month, have it there, build it up, but in an agency environment especially, it's so fast-paced that you may have a week to create a plan that you're going ahead and working on, and then you may have to change it midway according to your client or, what they think. So I think it's good to be agile and, change your plans at any time of the process, and I've definitely learned that along the way.
Yeah, no, and that's a really, really good point, and I guess the only way we can sort of do that is to try and do the simulations and things like that, but it's never going to be the same. But yeah, just learning, that also learning about the creative process, that it's back and forth until you get to that final product, and not becoming frustrated with that, because that's what it is. You have to that back and forth with a client until you get it to what they want. So
and I think, in, as we were talking about in the other course, it's having real client experience, before you're even in a professional position where you have to have a client, is so valuable. And like, it can teach you this for sure, listening to what they want. It may not always be your plan. You have to kind of think about their plans too.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. And so, because you're working in social media so much, like, it pretty much would consume you, because that's your job. So, and you must be across a lot of new stuff that's going on. So what's something that you've learned, some sort of new bit of information, a new tool, a hack, or something that you've picked up in the last couple of weeks that you could share with us?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of things happening. But one thing in recent news that I'm really excited for is seeing how Pinterest is rising up as a social media platform. They've always been the underdog there, and they've recently revised their system to improve all the recommendations and listing that's popping up on home screens, just like Instagram, Facebook, all social media platforms do. But because they've realized that 90% of their active users are looking or planning to make purchases, it's actually such a really valuable system that they've got one going out. So I reckon it's one to watch out for sure.
Absolutely. And, they've been around for a while, but yeah, like, I agree. It's good to, I mean, I wish I knew, I don't know enough about Pinterest. I need to get on there and play with it a lot more. I think I set up an account in like 2012, and I got
everyone has that account.
Because I remember I was at Monash then, and I was teaching social media, and I remember talking about it then, because it was all quite a new thing. But yeah, it's definitely evolved. And what are your thoughts on TikTok, particularly around influencers? So how have you found working with TikTok as a platform for influencers compared to, say, something like Instagram?
Yeah, TikTok, it's really interesting in the way, it's working and evolving, because I know they're also trying to get it to be more brand friendly and make it easier to do things like influence marketing programs. But I think, TikTok definitely has a long way to come to catch up to where Instagram is at in terms of, analytics and insights, and, getting that branding handshake happening, which is really important now, especially as, our social media laws are becoming more defined and tight. But on a creative side of like looking after TikTok, it's definitely been quite fun. It's very different, and you've got 15 seconds to make a point. How you're going to make that point. It's been quite fun to see how different TikTok influencers do that, but also how as a company we can make that work and still provide a good piece of content at the end of it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you can do like longer pieces now, but really the best ones, as you're right, the best ones are 15 seconds always.
Yeah, they're very quick, like they, you want to swipe through, take in that information and go to the next one.
Absolutely. No, I spend way too much time on there. So I just wanted to ask your opinion, see what you thought. And so, what advice would you give to other, say, social media students or emerging social media professionals about how they can succeed in their careers?
Yeah. So I think as I said, it is important to take opportunities wherever you can, to volunteer, really get involved in the industry, because it's evolving and it's so fast paced. There's so many different pathways out there that you can go and take. So if you've got a set career path that you thought you would have, just come what may, and see where the industry takes you.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell you, I never thought I'd be a lecturer. That's for sure. You just don't know where you're going to end up and what you're going to do. So, no, you're perfectly right. So just try everything, and then you can work out it. If you work out anything, you might even work out what you don't want to do, which will take you further towards what you do want to do.
Exactly.
And so the most important question of the whole show is, who do you like, share, and follow, Michelle?
So of course I like, share, and follow Social Soup. Little shout out to my own company here. So yeah, go check us out at Social Soup HQ. But I'd also like to do a shout out to a business that I really love watching in the way they make their content plans is ASOS.
Oh, yeah.
So they're doing a really great job at, creating diverse content, also looking at environmental initiatives, and really showcasing that and engaging their whole consumer, like all their customers together. It's just, that's one to watch out for me at the moment.
Excellent. And so what platforms do you recommend people follow them on? What are they on?
Instagram and Facebook are the best ones.
Yeah.
But as we're saying, also platforms, check out Pinterest. You never know where that's going to go.
Yeah, totally. And so do you have any final words before we wrap up?
No, it's been great chatting with you, Karen. It's been an honor to be here and have a little chat about, where life has taken me in this time, and I look forward to seeing the next few ones and where this goes.
Oh, excellent. So, no, thanks for being a guest today. No, I think I just love catching up with people that, and with grads, and to see where they're doing, what they're doing, and where they are. So thanks so much for spending your time today, because I know you must be super busy. So I appreciate that. And next week we have Carla Burnside, who is a digital content creator at Gibson Gifts. And so Carla is also a USC grad who studied social media. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Michelle. See you later.
Bye.